This episode was a labor of love. A labor of love, but we gonna rock with it. We're gonna rock with this season. It looks a little more promising. Some of the clips that we see that are coming up later in the season look like we're gonna get a little bit of action. We're not looking for drama, just action. Okay, just action. But it looks like Lauren is gonna sleep with somebody, girl. We were rooting for you. Lauren's gonna sleep with somebody. Emily looked like she get her head cracked open. Like, it's a lot of stuff that is going on, a lot that we will be able to talk about. But tonight's episode was a labor of love, and my notes reflect that. Okay, but we're gonna get through it the best we can. First things first. Before we even go a step further, I made some comments the past two videos that I feel there is a lack of diversity on this cast, on this season. I said that. I said that. I stand on that. I don't regret it. Why? Because I am black. Okay? I want to see black people on a show that I enjoy, that I am recapping. It is not unheard of for there to be a black couple on this season. So, if you have a problem with the fact that me, a black woman, pointed out the lack of diversity on this show, then I'm not the channel for you. You can go on and skedaddle your way out now, because I'm going to continue talking about the lack of diversity that we see on some of these shows. Conversely, just like you, some of the people that were in the comments saying I'm this, that, and the other, y'all are over on BET watching those all black shows. Y'all are not over on OWN watching Ready to Love, watching Put a Ring on It. Y'all aren't watching that. So until you go over there and watch some of those shows that is full of black people and you have no issue with that, do not come over here having a fit, calling me racist, making yourself look stupid because you feel a way that a black person wants to see a black person on TV. If you are not part of that crowd that can get it anytime, any day, anyhow in the comments, come on over. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the content, if you've been typing in Tammy Talks every single week, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and let's talk about something other than the fact that y'all don't like, or the fact that y'all do like, the lack of diversity on this season. All right, let's get started, y'all. So, like I said, my notes are very, very slim. My notes are very, 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 very slim. Just because it was a lot of back and forth. What I'm hoping though is because we are through all the weddings, through all the receptions, we saw a lot of conversation with the parents and the friends and the family. I'm hoping that we are going to skip the entire like next day brunch situation, and I'm hoping that we're gonna go forward straight to the honeymoon. But fingers crossed. Y'all know how married at first sight is. But this is episode 17. No, season 17, episode 4, hard launch. So we pick up with Claire and Cameron. So Claire is walking down the aisle. When she comes in after she takes off her cloak, when she took her cloak off, she smiled. She looked pleased with what she saw in Cameron, which is a good sign, right? Which is a good sign. So, but why did it look like her parents were like holding her up down the aisle? It gave the vibe that, she was like being pulled. It didn't, like, I noticed she wasn't, but the way that they were like holding her, had her all hemmed up like this, I said, damn. let her relax, let her loosen up her shoulders a little bit. But she gets down there. Her family wants him to know that she's a genuine, compassionate, and faithful person with a bright personality. She impersonates people that she loves, so if she start ribbing and roasting you, then you good with her. And she has a large, outgoing, and overwhelming family, and the family accepts you once they roast you. I said, see, now, a person like me from the mean streets of Milwaukee, where all we did is a rib and roast, where the way me and my brother rib and roast each other all the time, now, with the way my parents rib and roast us and each other, like, that is just our family dynamic. You don't want to go there with me. But I think that's cool. So they're a fun family that likes to probably spend a lot of time together. They like to just have fun. Cameron's well, I guess you will call him his family. Cameron's people said he's a tall man with a great head of hair. Behind that, he's just a tall man with a great head of hair. I said, if y'all done had nothing to say, y'all should have just said that. Let's not do this. Don't embarrass this man like that. He nervous enough already. But they said that he likes to bike. He owns a bike shop. That was all we heard about Cameron. Nothing about this man's personality, nothing about his aspirations, just that he likes to bike and he owns a bike shop. I said, girl, Cameron's ring doesn't fit. Who dropped the ball with this Lifetime? Don't y'all get these people's ring size? Who dropped the ball with this? Nonetheless, as they're walking out, she asks if he goes by Cam. He said, nope, not since I was 12. He said, I'm a man now, a grown man. You can call me Cameron. I said, I know that's right. Put your foot down. Put your foot down. She thinks he's tall, handsome, and has a great personality. They're getting along really well. Like their banter is flowing off of one another. So far, so good. They got to sit inside. Y'all see the other three couples had to sit outside with their coats on. Cameron and Claire got to sit inside with a nice little backdrop. The snow was behind them, the candles, like it was a vibe in there. So at this point, I haven't heard him say she's pretty. He hasn't said he's attracted to her or anything. So little leery on that. He does say it. Not in here. He does say it later in the episode, but as of like right now, he hasn't said it. So we then get her talking about her brother. So he mentions that he saw like the little memorial that she has set up. She said that she's a quadruplet, but they also have two other siblings. I said, whoo, 6 children, because I promise you this. Let me have quadruplets. That's all we having. That's it. We're not having nothing else. But they have, so she has 6, there are 6 of them in total. Her brother passed away 4 years ago. We then panned over to Becca and Austin because we get this montage of everybody taking wedding pictures. I'm glad that we sped this up. Sometimes this goes on a little too long, but we know that Becca is a wedding photographer and she's trying to direct everybody. Everyone put your hands in their pocket. Everybody's like, I don't have a pocket. And she's like, no, not you. And it's like, girl, this is why you should be quiet. Sit back, worry about that chin. Okay? Because whatever situation's going on in your chin done turn red. So where's the person to powder you up? That's what you need to be worried about. Nonetheless, they keep kissing. They like each other. So far, so good. So we get to Lauren and Orion's reception. He said his first impression of her was that he was floored because she's so beautiful. We then find out that Orion is a grass dancer. So she said, y'all are not a monolith, okay? Just like black people are not a monolith. Just like white people are not a monolith. So, what is a grass dancer? She says she knows a little bit about some indigenous cultures, but not every nuance that there is about every single one. So he explains it, and I think that they're bonding so far because she seems really interested in his culture, which is what he wanted. Now, on the flip, she wants somebody that is going to, be blackity black, black, black with her as well. So I'm interested to see how enthused he's going to be about black culture, African American vernacular, you know what I'm saying? How enthused is he gonna be about that? Because she's really putting a lot of stock in like really expressing interest in his culture, in his roots. So they have their first dance and they are dancing like 2 kids being forced to slow dance in the 5th grade. They're armless apart. They might as well have been rocking like this. I say, damn, y'all. I mean, sheesh. Clearly y'all are attracted to each other. Pull each other close. It was funny, but Lauren said that she prayed for somebody to dance in the kitchen with. And even though this dance is very awkward and she knows that there's going to be more awkward dances to come, she is still excited. about being able to finally get her person. So why you cheat on him later? You know what? We don't know if she cheated. This could be creative editing, but okay. So we then get over to Claire and Cameron's reception. I didn't realize how tall Cameron is. Or is Claire just that short? Last time I said somebody wasn't tall, i.e. Milton on Love is Blind, y'all tore me up in the comments. So somebody, like, if y'all know, how tall is Cameron? Or is she just really short? I'm curious. So she thinks that she has found the perfect match and feel the experts couldn't have picked a better guy. I said, girl, not too much. You putting way too much faith in Dr. Peppers and Pastor Cow. Way too much faith in them. But I'm happy that you're happy on your wedding day. So we then get over to... Oops. So we then get over to Emily and Brennan's reception. So his first question is like, so what do you drive? I said, oh. So she says she drives a Jeep. He drives an Audi. She's excited that she has not crashed her car at all. She said, I haven't crashed it yet. I told my dad. Emily's a lot. I don't know if Emily is inebriated at this point or if she just, tipping a little bit. But Emily seems like a lot. And I don't want to say Brennan seems like a square, but Brennan seems very, very reserved and kind of, I feel like he's not, I don't know if he's nervous, but I feel like he's like really not being himself yet. Like I feel like his representative is still on just because there's still that twinge of this is a stranger. So she then asked him about the bachelor party, y'all have strippers. And he was like, I didn't really interact with them, which he didn't. He did, a little bare minimum, tossed $1 or $2 here. She, on the other hand, is like, yeah, I was taking shots off the strippers by me. Girl, now I know you're drunk. Now I know something. She ends this scene by saying that she's going to go get another glass of wine. He said, oh, no, I don't need any, but I'll walk with you. It's giving Virginia vibes. I really don't like to compare these people to like past contestants, but she is giving very much Virginia. Aside from the fact that her eyeliner isn't running. Her eyeliner's not running like Virginia's is. So we then get to Becca and Austin's reception. And she was saying how her dress wasn't hemmed or tailored correctly. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, words, communicate. I said, oh. She is going to... I don't want to say that she has an aggressive personality, but she has a very direct, assertive personality. And maybe he was just, tipping a little bit too, but there was something that I picked up during that little exchange that I was like, eesh. I don't know how I felt about it. I don't know how he felt about it, but there was a vibe. There was something that was there. So she asked him how he dresses outside of this because it's kind of weird for their very first meeting for them to be dressed formal. So he said he dresses like a professional skater who does not skate. So what that tells me is that he wears cargo pants. He wears cargo pants, that he wears like rugby polos, or he wears like graphic tees with like a long sleeve t-shirt underneath. Y'all know he wears that hat backwards. And for his shoes, I feel like he wears like Nike SBs. Or he wears those DC shoes. Do they still make those? He wears the DC shoes. She says she dresses the exact same way, just with the feminine flair. And then we find out they're both slightly allergic to cats. They feel like they married the same person. Y'all might have. I don't know if that's necessarily good or bad in the context of this show, but y'all might have. So we pan back over to Lauren and Orion. And she's telling him about her mom and how her mom passed away just this past April. She said that her mom was a very non-judgmental parent. So her mom would, she could tell her mom that she, did some cocaine and then went and had a one night stand. And her mom would be like, okay, we gonna talk about it later, but okay, how was it? Okay, cool. She said, whereas her dad is the complete opposite, meaning her dad is very judgmental. So she asked her dad, hey dad, I saw you in the comments. Don't be posting no spoilers in the comments now, Lauren Daddy. I had to delete your message because it looked like a spoiler. But she said that she told her dad she was marrying a stranger, and he said, well, that's strange. Her daddy looked like he just don't play. She said her dad is cool, just not like the way that her mom was her Rolly, which makes sense. So Orion said that he needs to confess something, and I said, here we go. Orion lives at home with his mom. So Orion is working on getting a real estate license in Colorado. And Orion, as we know, is an electrician. But Orion lives at home with his mom. So Lauren said, oh, are you using it to, saving money during this time and stuff like that? And he was like, mm-hmm. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. Now, what I want to know, are the people that gave a pass to old boy from last season to Mac that lived in them people's basement and said it's perfectly fine and that's okay, are y'all going to give Orion the same pass? Lauren then tries to act like she's okay with it and said that, you know what, I told my sister she should have stayed at home too. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna let y'all put y'all comments and opinions down below. What I will say is, I do, based on his response, I don't think he has been using this money to save to get a house or whatever the case. I don't. Because at no point did he say, yeah, I live at home with my mom, but my goal is, I've been saving for X amount of years because I want to build a house or I want to buy a house. He just said, I live at home. Did you tell production that you lived at home? Did Pastor Cal and Dr. Peppers know that you live at home? Okay. Okay. Y'all, y'all like to get in the comments and act like y'all would be okay with that type of stuff when y'all know that y'all weren't. Y'all wouldn't, but okay. Alrighty. So we then get Becca and Austin. So her friends are telling Austin that he needs to be direct with her. Said that if he is very ambiguous about how he's feeling, about what he's going through, that would cause her anxiety to spike and go crazy. They said that she's very sex positive and touchy feely. She likes to paw on people and scratch people. I'm not that type of person. Keep your hands to yourself. There is no reason for us to be sitting and you just come up and start doing this to me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And her friend said that she don't realize everybody don't like that shit. There's a time and place for that. There is a time and a place for that, Becca. I feel like she's gonna get on his nerves. That's what I feel like. On the other side, his friends are telling her that he's very authentic and direct. So she said that she doesn't have a filter and she's not passive aggressive. If there's something on her mind, if she's feeling something, she doesn't know how to not just blurt it out. I'm gonna tell you this. So many people applaud themselves and hold themselves up in such high regard for not having a filter. There is nothing attractive about that. There's nothing superior about that. There's nothing endearing about that. Every adult should know how to use their filter. There are a lot of things that I can say at work to coworkers, that I can say to my brother, that I can say to friends, what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I can say, but it's time and place. I like anybody that says that they don't have a filter, I side eye the fuck out of you. Because I just feel like you're a rude person and you want people to be okay with your rudeness. There's nothing, nothing good about being a person that does not have a filter. It's not. There's not. It shows you have a lack of respect for others. And you have a lack of respect for yourself. But I digress. With Lauren and Orion, he does the traditional dance at their reception. His people tell her that his nickname is Onion. I said, I know. And she was like, okay, not gonna call him that. I said, I know you ain't. It's giving musty. Why would your nickname be Onion? I understand the whole he has layers, peel him back. So like you can peel an orange too. You peel a banana. You peel a kiwi. Why would you want your nickname to be Onion? I don't want to have to start calling Orion Little Musty, but we'll see. So then Lauren says that, my friends say that about me too. Lauren, girl, why are you a pick me? Are you becoming a yes man? What's going on? Anything somebody says, oh, that's, yeah, me too, me too, me too. I don't like that, girl. You're going to have to open that mouth, say what you're really feeling, but we not going to call this man Onion. Absolutely not. So they ask her what is her red flag. And I said, that's such a good question to ask somebody. What do you think is your red flag? I can tell y'all what my I can tell y'all what I know my red flags are. I'm sure y'all can tell me what y'all think my red flags are. But Lauren said that her red flag is needing a little too much validation. Orion's sister said something very, very good back about like, what are you doing to work through that? How does that, like, do you put that into like your expectations for a partner? And Lauren said no, she knows she needs to work on it. So kudos, but Pastor Cow, Dr. Peppers, take note of Orion's sister. Take note of Little Musty's sister, because that's how y'all should be having some of these conversations later in the season when these people ready to, walk out the door. Bring her in. Y'all brought in what was that one girl's name with her brother was he androgynous? God, I can't think of Sriracha. Remember they kept bringing Sriracha in? We don't need no more Srirachas. We need Orion's sister, because she came in with the word. Orion, on the other hand, is talking to her father. Okay? So telling her father that he has his real estate license and his like electrical license, or whatever he needs. I think it's a license to work in New York. He doesn't see himself living in Colorado full time, I guess, or long term. So he said his dream is to have a house on the East Coast, so where he can go up and, do things on the coast. And then I think he said like up north in the woods, whatever the case. Her father was like, see, my problem with that is none of what you just said involves your wife. You didn't say I would love for me and my wife to have a house on the East Coast. You are okay with, I guess, being bi-coastal, but you're thinking like a single man. You got to start thinking about, yourself as a part of a pair. You're a package deal now. On top of the fact, like, what if Lauren doesn't want to move to the East Coast? These are things we have to talk about, my guy. And Orion was like, yeah, I totally get that. Orion then said that because he grew up in a matriarchy, that he has never dated within his culture because he doesn't like to be bossed around. Now, when they were doing that awkward dance, Lauren said that she has never dated. Did she say she's never dated outside her culture? No. What did Lauren say? She's never dated somebody indigenous? And I think she said she's never dated somebody outside her culture. She's always had a brother. Whereas he said that he has never dated within his culture. So they were like, not us being equal but opposite. I said, okay. Personally, and I know y'all are gonna hate me for this, but I think it's a level of self-hate when you don't date within your culture, right? I'm not saying that anybody has to marry within their culture by any means. By no means is that what I'm saying before somebody writes it. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think there is something to be said if you're an indigenous person and you don't want to date within your culture. I think there is something to be said if you're Hispanic or Asian or black or, you know, anything of the sort, and you don't want to date within your own culture. I think that's a level of self hate, to me at least. So his reason is because he doesn't want to get bossed around. So Lauren's daddy was looking like, what? So he, he is saying that he wants things to be a little more even. And it's just kind of like, just because, and I'm not going to pretend to know everything about his particular tribe, but I also kind of feel like just because you marry someone that's within your culture, that doesn't mean that that woman's gonna boss you around. I feel like Orion has probably been babied his entire life. I don't think it's a matter of being bossed around. I think it's a matter of his mother has probably taking care of him and babyfied him, and he has gotten to a point where he wants to stand on his own 2 feet, and he's probably on this show as an act of defiance because his mother probably wants him to date and marry somebody within their culture. But okay. So Lauren's daddy was like, y'all are already married, so you really don't need my approval. Orion said, no, but I really want it though. And her father was like, we gotta wait and see. Which is a very valid answer. I don't know you enough to give you my approval. I don't understand why you're even asking for her father's approval after meeting this man 25 minutes ago. But hey, we get Claire's sisters. They are low key grilling and ribbing Cameron all in the same breath, like she said they were gonna do. So great. We then get a bunch of different hodgepodge hotspot scenes where they're bouncing back and forth between all 4 different receptions. So I did not take a lot of notes about that. So if I missed anything, y'all feel free to put it down below. So then finally we get Emily and Brennan. So her people are asking him, why you on the show? He said that he's dated all his past relationships have now kind of taught him what it is that he's looking for and what it is that he wants. He's not nervous about her never being in a relationship. Her friends were like, well, it's because she never tried to make anything work. When things get hard, she just kind of, move off with in relationships and in her life. I said, damn, her friends got right to it, didn't they? While initially it seemed like her friends were haters, because it did. While initially it seemed like her friends were haters, I will say that it does seem like her friends, oh Lord, I done lost the damn stream. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Lord. Okay. What happened? Okay. So while it did seem initially like her friends were haters, it does seem more or so like they're just kind of being honest, not only with her, but with him to kind of prepare them for like what is going to actually, what might transpire, what might happen in this relationship. So, meanwhile, oh, they also say that she's very honest, and not only will she not lie to herself, she's not going to lie to him. So, meanwhile, his friends are asking her what it means that she's never been in a real relationship. And she said, well, shoot, never been in one. Right? So she doesn't think that that's a red flag about herself. She kind of feels that she's had these 29 years to get herself together, find out what it is that she truly, truly wants, and she's ready to embark on that. That's not how this works, Emily. That's not how this works whatsoever. And you about to F around and find out based on these clips. So they say that most of his relationships, talking about Brennan, most of his past relationships have ended because of communication issues. And it's really they communicate in 2 kind of different ways. And that's why a lot of them have kind of fallen to the wayside because they're on 2 different wavelengths. And then we get to see everybody walk out together. Orion kind of gives me main character energy, like he wants to be player one. Because after your wife has gotten into the car, why are you just what are we doing? Go on and get your ass in the car. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I know I missed a bunch, so you guys just go ahead and put whatever I did miss into the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.